Hi, I'm Gabby and I need to do a project pin. So I've been inspired by a few different people, one of them being Amy on Instagram, and I'll put her handle somewhere here, who's another Australian influencer, and Emmy Lucas, who's an English influencer living in America, who are both doing project plans at the moment. And I've gone through all of my stuff and realized I have a problem and I need to do a project plan. So to give you a rundown, we moved house in November of 2025. It is now February in 2026. And through moving all of our stuff, I realized I have a lot of stuff that I don't need and that I'm not getting through. And not that I buy things in excess or anything like that, but I buy replacements thinking I'll get through what I have, and I don't. So I decided I need to do a declutter, which I've already started doing, but today I thought I would tackle the bathroom and take you with me. So we're gonna go through everything. So we have 2 of these for teeth whitening, as well as whitening strips. And my husband and I both bought them with intentions of using them and never have. I think we've used them once each. 3 fake tans for someone who doesn't fake tan, as well as a fake tan mitt that's literally never even been opened. I'm like, why do I have it? And when did I buy it? And why did I buy it? I think I might have bought it for an event, and I ended up with 3 because I didn't know what color was going to be best or what brand is best or anything like that, and I don't think I ever even used them. So there's that. Dry shampoo. I don't really use dry shampoo a lot. I use them for events and that's about it, but I don't really go to events, so I don't know why I have them. I think I bought a pack of 2 from Costco and I used 1. I don't use this one. So I have a friend who uses these. I will be, at the end, I'll go through and I'll tell you what I'm doing with everything, but I'm planning on either donating unopened stuff, so reaching out to family and friends to see if anyone would want them, or if they're past expiration or due date, or just not really hygienic to be passing on, getting rid of them. Which makes me sad because I like to think that I'm I try to be very ethical and sustainable and everything like that. So the idea of throwing things out and the waste that's created and generated from that doesn't really sit well with me, but there's no point in hanging on to it if I'm not going to use it genuinely. I've carried these with me through the end of high school, the start of my adulthood, and now into my 20s and 30s. I turned 30 this year, and I just don't think there's a place in my life for these anymore. As much as I would love to be into makeup and would love to have the time and the skill to do it, I just don't. Through the end of high school, not even end of high school, just after high school, I started dyeing my hair bright red. If I can find a photo, I'll insert it somewhere. So a lot of these products have carried on from them to where I've obviously had quite damaged hair in the past, and it's needed to have some maintenance and whatnot, support, some product. But again, I don't use these. Like, I have this O&M Frizzy Logic Shine Serum, which I do use, so I'll keep that one. I don't go to the hairdressers anymore. I dye my hair using a box dye that I get from Coles or Woolies or the shops, and my best friend cuts my hair, so I have no purpose for all of this stuff to, like, for maintenance and stuff like that, because my hair isn't as damaged as it was. That's shampoo from the last time I washed my hair, dyed my hair, and I haven't used it. It's not even shampoo, it's like a sealer for the color. This is for like heat protection, which I have used a little bit. And then I have this, which is just a mess maker that kind of gives your hair a bit more volume. But again, I don't use it, so yeah. Following on with the makeup and stuff like that, I have a makeup shampoo, like for brushes, and I got this in America the last time I was there. And that's saying something because it expired in 2018. It's now 2026. So as much as I would want to keep this just to like be able to have a good shampoo for my brushes, because I actually really like this, I won't be keeping that. This is following on from that makeup situation. It's an Urban Decay all-nighter makeup setting spray. Even when I do wear makeup, I don't use this. I haven't used it in a long time. I don't think I've used it the entire time I've lived in this house, and I don't think I used it the entire time I lived at my last house, and I lived there for 5 years. So yeah, this is what I use. Just, what is it? Micellar water. This is what I use to clean my face whenever I did wear makeup on. It's my makeup remover, and I've had this for a really long time. Probably not since high school, because I remember I replaced the one that I had used because I liked it, but since then I think this is still the same one. This is going on with the hair thing as well. It's a wax stick, and I saw everyone going through that trend where they'd wear their hair back in like a slick low bun or like a mid bun with like their hair like waxed down and slicked back, and like I bought it. I love the idea. I don't have the face or head shape for it, so I think it's been used twice. It is really good though for like flyaways and stuff like that whenever I do have events, but I never wear my hair out for events. So I saw ages ago, I don't even know, Martha from Maps, if you're in Australia, she used this and promoted it on her Instagram page, and it's a face tanning water for like a gradual toner. I do use this. I do use it in summer only. I don't use it in winters, but I haven't used it this summer, and I don't think I used it last summer because I was running after a toddler, so I never really had the time to focus on it. But it's just a product that I have that I'd like to maybe go through, so we'll discuss that later. I have this sensitive hair remover for legs and body. I don't know where this came from or when I got it or why I have it. I don't believe I've used it at all because I didn't even know I had it, but apparently I do. I also have face wax sheets. They're just like the little strips. My only issue with these is I really do like using them for like my eyebrows and stuff like that, but the problem that I have following on from that is they never provide you enough of like the wipes to get all the gunk off, and I don't really know how to remove those without the wipes, so I don't really use them very often, but I have them and I will go through them. So this is another thing that I was influenced to buy off of Instagram and social media people. I saw that, I don't know her name. I think her Instagram is all that she is, or all that she is, all that she is, I think. I'll put it. But she was promoting this, and she did for ages, for like years. So I had watched it for years and then thought, you know what, I will get it. And I have used it a fair bit. However, I have had it for like 5 years. So I put it on my bedside table for a while, thinking it would force me to use it a bit more, and it did, but I think I need to do that again. I went to Japan last year and I bought a bunch of face care things, as most people do when they go to Japan. The first thing is this, which is a vitamin C cream, which I absolutely love. I use it every single day. I use it morning and night, and it has replaced everything. My whole skincare routine is replaced by this, and I love it. I'm going back later this year and I'll be buying more. I also bought pimple patches, which I love, and a bunch of sheet face masks. This is the only one that I have left, so I will get around to using it. It's a real shame that all of that replaced things that were already in my face and skincare routine, because prior to that, while I was pregnant, my skin started going through a really bad breakout, so I went to see someone who does like face and skincare and stuff like that, and does facials and everything, and I started going regularly, and she recommended these products that she uses in studio, and I bought them all and I loved them, and I had been replacing them every time I was running out for, I'd like to say like 2 good years. They're quite expensive too, so I was asking You know, whenever someone would be like, oh, what do you want for your birthday, for Christmas, I'd ask for like an OU Cosmetics voucher or a product if they had the budget to kind of work with that or wanted to spend that amount on me. So I've got a hyaluronic serum that I do use alongside this. I've got an exfoliating cleanser that I keep in the shower that I do whenever I get around to it. I also have a gentle cleanser that I also keep in the shower and I do whenever I get around to it. Then I have the Immortal Cream and just a face sunscreen. The sunscreen worked really, really well for ages, but then it started to affect my eyes where it burns quite a bit, so I've stopped using this as much. I have brought it back up and started using it again as of recently, but like away from my eyes. So I'll use it on my T-zone, on my chin, and like under, like on my cheeks, but I try not to go up too close to my eyes and on my nose, but it does still get really sensitive if I like rub my face and then I rub my eye, like I'm affected by it. So I don't think I'll be using this anymore. I think it might be time to pass it on to someone else or get rid of it. It could be that it's even past its best before and that's why it's no longer serving its purpose properly or affecting me in the way it is, but there's no dates on it or anything like that. So yes, there is. Expiry September 2024, so we're 2 years out of date. The Immortal Cream I don't use, and this is the replacement that I use for it. However, this is brand new. It was bought as a replacement and I never actually started using it. So this probably won't take me to the next trip that I have to Japan, but it will take me to where my friends go next. So I'll probably use this until I'm out, start using this again until my next trip, and then go back to this once I go back to Japan and can buy more. Alongside that, while I think it was even before I was pregnant, I used the Bang & Body banana scented all over body cream. I quite liked that. It was really, really nice. It never felt oily in my skin. So after I gave birth and everything like that, I asked my husband for the scrub as well. I do use this. I use it in the shower. I like it. I went through a stage where I was trying newer shampoos and like more sustainable options and stuff like that, and I came across this one which I thought was really good because it's aluminum free, it's paraben free, it's quite good, like it's vegan and cruelty free. I don't think it's vegan actually, but it is cruelty free and everything like that. So I bought it and I tried it and it smells great. I do like it, but it's one of those sticks that once it melts really oddly. So then there's like massive misshapes in it that kind of doesn't help it do its job properly when you're rubbing it on and you get down to that point. As well as it's not antiperspirant at all. It doesn't help with that at all. So it just kind of feels a bit mucky and it doesn't really work for me, but I've kept it just in case. Since stopping on those, I've found deodorants that I do really like, which are the Wild deodorants with the refillable cases. This is the refill that I currently have. It's the coconut and vanilla. However, I think it's cotton. The cotton is what I have in here currently, but I have 2 cases for them. I play sports, so I normally leave one in my house and one in my sports bag or one in my car. So I do use both of these and I do use my refills. My next thing is, for ages we're going through trying to see what toothpaste situation works best for my family. We went through a while where we did tooth tabs, didn't really like them, but we used through them. We also bought this organic tooth powder, which we have used, but we don't use it very often or a lot. It's probably out of date if there is a date on it. I should check that. But we've just been buying things to try and see how they go, but it's to a point now where we've been working through everything. So we've done with the tooth tabs. We bought a High Smile, however it's said, in like a red, and we used through that. So now we're working through this one, and then we've got these 2 to work through unless I can find dates on them to say that they need to go in the bin. The other thing that is a bit hard is deodorants, not deodorants, perfumes. I used to be really big on perfumes and scents and stuff like that, and I hated even thinking that people could smell any type of odor on me that wasn't like this sweet and infatuating smell. So I have quite a collection, or had quite a collection of perfumes that I never really would be able to get through. I had so many that I would never be able to get through any of them. So when we moved house from our old house to this house, I did declutter a bunch. I have like one scent that I like using and that I do like, which is Cloud by Ariana Grande. And whenever people buy me perfume, that is a perfume that they buy me, because for the past, I think 4 or 5 years, that's been all that I've worn. However, I do still have these two that my husband quite likes the scent and smell of, that I have brought from the other house. This one is an Ariana Grande, I don't know the name of it though. And this one is Yellow Diamond by Versace, which my brother-in-law actually bought me when my husband and I started dating. I think it was like a year or 2 into us dating, and we've been together for 11 years. And I'm halfway through it, but it just doesn't get used anymore. And since having my son, I'm really selective about scents that I allow on my body. Just having a child has kind of allowed me to realize that this is kind of, I've got all of my products here, but this is kind of ridiculous. It's unnecessary. It's a lot of stuff, has a lot of toxic stuff in it, a lot of chemicals, a lot of shit that we shouldn't be putting on our body or anything like that. So I'm trying to consciously work through everything here to then start fresh, but not be wasteful to the point where if I just don't like the ingredients or anything like that, I'm just gonna throw it out, because I've allowed myself to wear these things and go through them and have these things in and on my body before and whatnot. So it's obviously, the damage has already been done. So I'm just trying to get through the product so then we can start fresh and start new. So these are 2 things that need to go. The only other thing that I do have to talk about is razors and blades. I use a reusable safety razor that I bought from Flora and Fauna many moons ago, probably 10 years ago or so. However, I was just buying like the random odd packs of stuff, of blades that you can kind of buy from a supermarket and whatnot. I have since found a brand that I do really like, which is this Astra. And I bought a obviously very large pack, so it's a whole box of 20 pack that come like this. So there's 20 of these and there's 5 blades in each. So essentially I should never have to buy any more top-ups for the rest of my life. However, I do have these other blades. And these were given to me by a friend who is a male who has a safety razor too, who also uses a safety razor to shave his head. So he was going through a bunch of different razors and blades to test what blades did and didn't work best on his skin, on his body, and have some type of reaction to him. These were the ones that he didn't like, and he knew that I also had a safety razor and that I used this brand, so he asked me if I wanted the rest of them. This was full when I first got it. I think it had maybe about 6 different packs in it, which I've worked through. The last one that I've got here, I think is Parker, I think it's called. Parker safety razors, and there's 5 in there. So now there's 4 in there because he's used them and deemed it not good. And then I've also got this one, which I can add to my one. However, I don't know if it's exactly feasible for it. Should be, but I also have one other pack that he's given me that he never even opened because he found the one that he quite liked before even opening it. That I do keep in my kitchen that I use to score bread, and I use them as a one-time, one-use thing. So once I score bread or a bread roll or anything like that I'm making, that I have a like a sharps container that my blades go into. So once they're done, it's a one-time use type thing. So this packet I very well may actually replace the one in my kitchen with, once I'm finished with that one, because I don't think I'll be using these ones as safety razors, as I have found the ones that I do like. The only other thing that I do have that I thought I would talk about and bring up, because it's obviously to do with like bathroom toileting, self-care situation. We have like shampoo and conditioner that we use, but we buy those in bulk and just refill. And then we do have a block of soap as well as a pump bottle of body wash, but we use those like anyone else would while we're in the shower, so I don't see it as a point to bring it out, because we would just continue using those. But this is my all-time favorite cream. I use this all the time. I am very sensitive with my hands. I don't like my hands to feel a certain way. I don't like the dryness on my hands. I can't function when my hands are dry. So after I wash my hands, I always put soap on them. I've bought these reusable little pouches that have a little thing on it, and they're reusable. You just unscrew the top of it and refill it. And I've bought a bunch of those, and we use them when we travel. And I also use them when we're not traveling, and I top it up with this, put it in here. I leave this in my car, in my bag. I knit, obviously, so this stays in my knitting bag. I have one by my bedside table, and I refill from this and use this and access it as necessary. But these will never leave my life. Okay, I've now gone through everything, so I thought now that I've got them separated, I would show you what I'm planning on doing with everything. So this is a pile that I'm planning on keeping and working through everything that is here. I use, not often, but I do plan on working through. This is a pile of stuff that I've gone through and I've checked dates. These are out of date. Majority of them are out of date. This doesn't have a date on it, however, I just don't think it's sanitary to pass on to anyone, obviously, and I'm not going to use it. So I just think it's time that move on. These as well, I don't think we're going to use them again. It's not sanitary to pass it on to anyone, so they just have to go. And this is a pile of stuff that I can't find a date on, or is still within date, that I'm genuinely not going to use, that I'm going to see if anyone in my life would like them by chance, or anyone that they know might want them by chance. I don't feel too great about passing on the makeup and just like the sanitary side of that. I don't know how hygienic or sanitary is, but people who use that will obviously know like how to clean it or if it is effective. Otherwise I will just get rid of them, unfortunately. Now I'm pretty sure it's time for me to just say, future Gabby, good luck. I hope you go through everything. I hope you stick to your own guns and your, not so much as morals, but your ethics and everything like that, where you don't buy things for the sake of buying things, are more money conscious and more conscious on what you spend your money on and who you support with spending your money, and actually use the things that you have and don't just replace them if you don't think you're going to use them. My next check-in will be in June to do with this, where we will go through and see what I have used, what I haven't used. I will be decluttering again at that point if there are products that I've kept that I'm no longer using and don't see necessary to keep in my stash anymore, and just see how we're keeping on with everything and seeing if I'm staying true to my word and everything like that. Fingers crossed. I have high hopes. This year is going to be a year for me to kind of get back to my roots with my own ethics and morals and my side of my, like, being a bit more sustainable. And I obviously want to make sure that the money that we are spending on products that we do use often are clean, healthy for us to be using, and are given to us by companies that have good morals and ethics that maintain a similar aspect as our lifestyle and the way we live and whatnot, so that the way we choose to spend our money consciously on products is also supported by the companies that we are supporting. I'm trying my best. Nobody's ever perfect when it comes to sustainability and consciously buying products, and it takes a lot of learning, it takes a lot of failing, it takes a lot of research and time and energy in finding what doesn't work, and what you are happy with, and what works for your body and what doesn't work for your body. And this is just something that I think is going to be beneficial to all of my family by doing a project pan for my stuff. This doesn't include any of the stuff that's my husband's or anything like that, because he's already a very simple person who doesn't buy a lot of stuff, he doesn't own a lot of stuff, he doesn't use a lot of product. So this is just a me thing, and I think that it would just align better with my husband and the way we want to choose to live if I did this and stuck to it myself. So that is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the project pan. That is what we've been through today. Again, I will check up in 6 months time to see, well, now it's like 3.5, 4 months time, to see whereabouts we've landed with everything that's here. Hopefully I have worked through a lot of the product that is here. If not, we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, stay tuned, I guess, because we're about to be a lot more active.